Welcome to this first audio ebook, that is Tech Products Analysis for Future 2030. So what we are going to see in this first audio ebook, we will see about how to create a successful tech product, steps to create while building and releasing tech product in market, the solid reasons to consider for tech products to use in business, technology for making smarter decisions for buyers, tech products trends which will nurture customer retention, how these tech fuel startups are making their mark in business, how binding teams for tech products are useful for customer experience, and finally, conclusion. So, how to create a successful tech product? There are many resources available online which state that the new technocrat generation is technologically advanced and it is one of the most active group on social media. The insights also tell that the age group between 17 to 26 comprises of one of the biggest consumers group in almost all of the countries of the world. It is a great fact that this type of generation have a big spending money power, that is approximately $140 billion a year. It is one of the emerging group of consumers where they are making his presence known. Although we have all these insights, it is not sufficient for providing guidance to create a tech product that will rock among the new future generation. But however, after making some calculations, there have been some guidelines created for making a successful tech product that will be liked by this future generation. So diving into this tech product creation, first is to make your product very unique. If you go around and research the market, you will find a lot of imitated products and services which are often quickly and precisely copied. In contrast, there are some big companies that believe copying a similar business strategy is a fair game, and they do not think that this is wrong. But what we are trying to prove here is that new generation are highly tuned to find new things, so making something different is the key. This is little opposite with the middle-aged group of consumers that are more geared toward discovering similarities. Hence, in order to fix the eyes of the new generation on your product, you must offer something new. So this can be done by making some changes which can involve adding, enhancing, reducing, or removing product features to create combinations which are not seen before or can entirely be a new experience. Second point to consider is to customize the product for the new generation. The product should be created and set according to the requirements of the future generations since they really do have different thinking than the older group of consumers who are slightly less exposed to the newer technology. The new generation prefers social media as a medium to share digital posts and communicate with others. But if we move on to the next consumer group, which is likely older in age group, prefers to broadcast themselves to a wider network. This is the big difference. Great products are very polarizing in their appeal to the specific group declination when a new group of masses starts to adopt them. This is why the new social media platforms are emerging out since the future generation does not want to stay at only one platform. They are enthusiastic and seeking new choices. Third is to remove all kinds of resistance. The future generation is adapted to instant gratification and will quickly check out if the product is incredibly worthy or not. If there is any kind of little aberration, just like a late delivery, a bad user interface, or poor performance, the product is definitely on the path to failure. Your product has a very limited time and it will have no second chance for consideration in the eyes of the future generation. Also, you aren't only playing the game with the players in the direct market space, but also with those who are perfect in the business of the user experience. Fourth factor is about the product involvement with the new generation. Many of them find it very useful to create a product or a service along with the suggestions of the new future generation. Basically, point is that if you consider the feedback of the new generation when it comes to functionality, performance, working and price of the product, the route to success become easier. For better outcomes, you should involve newer generation in the development process and make sure they are included in the evaluation and testing processes. Now, coming to the fifth point, it is to make changes in the business structure wherever required. Even though there is a wide range of money among the future generation, the majority of this group is limited to spend money on your product. This is because they are either in study phase or just starting out with a new job world. Also, they are dealing with highly increasing levels of prices. With all these financial limitations, this strategy with which your business works should be very flexible while making a tech product. Subscription model or membership model are a good choice since the return rate is less and it is in the favor of the customer or the company. A very best advertising solution can be like stuffing the branded content related related to a product or perhaps offering small payments as a solution. Sixth factor is to adhere with the norms. While designing your product, it should be aligned with the people, nature, and resources. Few years ago, in every industry, there were norms that were once acceptable. This included like practices under production which caused pollution, work conducted in the workshops, and the methods that were not adaptable to the workers. If you want to build a winning product, you must highlight the values on which they are built. The common terms which we use for the values are like diversity, inclusion, and equity. But this has become more generic today. We need something that is far beneficial to people, nature, and resources. From the consideration of the planet Earth, the manufacturing process, the material with which it is packed in, and the method used to distribute it must all adhere to the all kind of norms. Special care must be taken to continuously reduce this carbon footprint to a specified percentage within a specified time range. Now, from people perspective of view, companies must give proper employment with fair wages. The management should be clear with the terms and the conditions of the workers' wages per hour. Also, if you sell digital products, it should have proper billing such as those GDPR and CCPs. Lastly, the profit which is earned should be shared to some worthy causes. Final and seventh factor is the new generation should be the part of the product creation. Today, as you will see, the best and the fine products are backed by the platforms where the talented people can meet up and interact with each other. It consists of people who are young and dynamic seeking reciprocity. The product may be of any kind, whether it is a functional product, a service, or just an experience. So, we come to a conclusion that making a new product for a new generation requires a very different tactical approach. The market is more competitive than ever and it will be more inflated in future. So, to determine the success of your product, make sure that the future consumers are the part of your product creation, delivery, and communication. Now, coming to the second chapter, that is steps to consider while building and releasing tech product in market. It has been noticed that many of the software professionals and entrepreneurs could develop new products and are looking ways for different ways to turn their products into a viable business. So, how is this possible? The very first step in making tech products is to consider market in mind. Ask yourself questions related to the market as an entrepreneur. It is very tragic to hear that most of the entrepreneurs spent a huge portion of the time on the idea only just to find out that This idea is not the new but already on the market in some form or shape. So, the main task of the development phase is to do research and find out what is already working out there. Understand how current products are targeting different markets, having less or different features, or how they are being built differently. An innovative idea is easy to spot by looking at the current trends. In a very simple language, we can define that a target market is a place where people are willing to pay for a solution in the form of your product. The consumer might like a solution or product, but always not purchase it. When the tech product isn't in a development phase, it is very significant to understand the benefits of the product to the target market so that they are more likely to buy the product when it is released in the market. There are various factors that the target market could buy for a variety of reasons, such as cost reduction, increased efficiency, or simply high quality. Simply just solve a problem. The technology which is new and innovative needs to solve a problem or offer an opportunity to new consumers. Your market is always willing and ready to pay the money for high quality products available in the market. So, the success of the product depends upon how it solves the problem or how it offers a new opportunity to the new market. Prove your product as good as other products available in the market. Entrepreneurs will need to develop the idea in the prototype stage. To prove its feasibility, it is very important to showcase your target market and potential partners that your idea is worthy of their time. For instance, if you are claiming that your tech product will link to social media or it will be also in the form of mobile app or different systems should be integrated, then you need your prototype to show that it can actually do it. Make enough testing of the product before it is released in the market. When the tech product is ready, it is important to test it on the target market. Now, the real examination for the entrepreneurs begins. Since now the product was only being seen it from the entrepreneur's perspective, but now we will listen from the consumers. It will reveal how potential the idea of the entrepreneur was and how much the market is taking interest in the product. It will also highlight the features that the market requires and will assess the other products available in the market. So, at this moment, what the entrepreneur can do? This is the very crucial phase. So, it is very important to collect as much as information and data to access the product and its features. Explain briefly your product to gain momentum and to present the product to others. It is a very common thing to notice that the entrepreneurs have a very hard time expanding their product as they are getting distracted by the design and the user interface details. But it needs to be overcome. They need to provide clear insights into the product about its target market, what solution it is offering, and why the product is the best. Having discussions with the similar process product owners can be quite helpful as they can share each other's problems in the business. The real test of the product starts when the product is to be turned into viable business and how they can make profit with it. They need to convince to consumers that their product will make their lives easier and comfortable. Thus, these were some of the tips to consider for high success rate of a tech product. Now, talking about the solid reasons which need to be considered for technology geared products to use in business. The technology in business removes the extra load on human workers and install systems that maximize the benefits of the human machine interplay. This is not too hard to achieve, and we have worked hard to achieve it from decades. With the advent of artificial intelligence and machine learning, there has been progress at an accelerated speed. The things which were in research papers in early days are being used in business as very usual. The data savvy algorithms and equipments which are fully automated and running around the clock to maximize the efficiencies. The entrepreneurs who are giving a thought to integrate high-tech solutions to advantage the workers are the ones who are looking into the future world. Human capital is one of the unscalable element of the business operations. They have limited working hours. So, for this, technology is an answer for scaling the business and accepting the reality of human capacity. So, can we just give it a thought about cognitive technology to fuel up the human productivity? The new startups are providing different platforms to facilitate this cognitive technology. We are now living in a world of big data, and it is outside the capacity of human stuff to make sense from these vast data sets. It's a very challenging task, but the value that the many entrepreneurs can create is something which cannot be neglected and which heavily depends on this data. So, here comes the role of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other algorithms through which the entrepreneurs creates complex conditional logic and develops powerful applications and easy to view dashboards. These technologies have numerous applications in various industries, and here are some of the examples which we will discuss in detail. First example we will talk about is healthcare sector. The task of handling data in the healthcare is very cumbersome, which is very well known. Going from patient records to different machine tracking, database accuracy can make a very significant difference among the today's healthcare professionals. Treatment given to the patients can be effectively monitored and the productivity can be improved with the great precision data practices in healthcare. Second sector to talk about is finance. There had been a record number of breaking of startups over the last couple of years. A huge amount of capital is poured into the markets to launch new innovative products. The main challenges are to prevent the fraud as well as the logistics of the money moving into the market and maintaining the compliance. So, to make all these processes easier, the technology that handles the data to streamline the processes. Now, talking about the retail sector, it's never been easier to really jot down the customer wants and needs by the manual guesswork methods. The only thing which can help in this matter is to get the real-time feedback response very fast and quickly to consumer demands. So, this again brings the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and algorithms into play. Pertaining to the legal sector, there are huge businesses which face legal guidelines, standards, and more in various contexts. With the increasing daily products in the market, there has also been spike in number of contracts, patents, and IP. So, to track all of these, a process is urgently required and which is also a fully digital one. Processing of the unstructured data from the web is a competitive differentiator in today's market. This not only switches on the benefits that offer the right functionality but also the right outcomes. So, reaching the gap between the efficiency and the technology is the key. Simply having data or keeping it organized on the paper is not sufficient. It must be used. This is where most entrepreneurs fail and data analysis systems fall short. The data should be fast enough and accurate to make perfect decisions for all kinds of businesses. So the technology which helps in filling the gap with the correct technology and analytics is the ultimate win. There is a need to create systems which can effectively collect data from the online sources like internet to gauge and understand their customers. So now, is there anything else that can data tell us? Yes, they talk and showcase the measures or the trends which could uncover the malicious activities. The data visualization can help in spotting the quick behaviors, and it can help in leading valuable insights. The another advantage is that it provides instant insights and trends. So, as soon as a new trend is discovered, the entrepreneurs tend proactively to make decisions to the shifting dynamics. So, does better handle of data can lead to the better growth of the business? Definitely, keeping an eye in any sector and finding a system that can make the best use of data is really to be useful. The business growth is dependent within the data which provides actionable business insights. The correct system can help the code unlocking of data and securing effective growth in businesses. Now, talking about technology for making smarter decisions for buyers. Now, when buyers go out for shopping, they get hit with various terms like solutions, softwares, applications, storage, platforms, and ecosystems. Now, should they be confused with this? Simply, they wonder that these are just the buzzwords for them, or they can be an important element in making decision in buying process. So here we now have an explanation of these terms, what they mean and how they matter into the context of buying process. In earlier days, simple softwares and applications were made to meet a precise need. All the entrepreneurs such as CRM or email marketing. There were different companies evolving with varying degree of solutions and products to make sure that the workflow is streamlined and integrating the software to suit the legacy systems. The journey did not stop here. There are some products who went a further step ahead, making multiple integrated products of related functionality by expanding the present software into suites. But as the years passed, there was not a single application that could anticipate the sheer speed at which the digital marketing was growing. This industry was now doing something out of the box to meet the challenges of the customers without being putting into capital expense or following the long development cycles. Hence, the marketers could now have different methods by which they can engage with the customers. But the drawback was that they were also ending up with them in pits. So this created the brand experiences very bad and made the marketing resources to drain down. It was neither in the favor of the customer nor in the favor of the most marketers. Many of them thought to integrate the products was the solution, but it was not as simple as that. Products such as CRM was stepping up to become data foundations. But the buyers still had the job of selecting the multiple auxiliary products layer around the hub. The World Economic Forum defines platform business model as a medium to facilitate exchanges and interaction with the help of technology-enabled business models which creates value. Many experts of the platform ecosystems say that marketers want to choose and select applications purposes with the data workflow and add experiences to converge into a common stable foundation or platform strategy. The technology such as CRM gives a stable layout for the surrounding ecosystem of applications which then cater to all existing and emerging marketing needs. Talking about Adobe, Oracle, HubSpot, all of them have suites of multiple products. Now, to make things more easier, we have open APIs and marketplaces so that ecosystem of products and applications can directly enter to help customers. Other experts describe the platform business model as which determines to develop good network efforts. So platform business model are just solving the marketing problem and also creating a new convenience for the buyers. Can you believe that platform business model offers a variety of products to choose from, but also that integration data flow are safe for the buyer? Customer experience is becoming more near to the brand strategy. It is possible that the entire ecosystem may or may not function around a specific platform, but it is essentially the products and the services that can potentially integrate with a given platform. It is clear that the ecosystem anchors around the foundational technology but does not get directly linked in the transactions between customers and vendors. If we talk about the marketplace, on the other hand, it facilitates the ecosystem of buyers and sellers with the main role playing in the transaction. It affects the purchase decisions, but the real thing which matters is finding the right solution to meet up the business challenges and the needs. The common questions are just like, how do I use a technology to meet up business goals? Do we have the proper skill sets to use it? How do I integrate it in my business strategy? While selecting the right solution, it also means to leverage the third parties that don't make the technology but help us choose to make a technology better. Platform offer but a lot of conveniences, but not all the platforms are created equal. Buyers will look out for features that provide seamless and friction-free experience than others. Buyers need to ask themselves that which is better for their investing into a stable, flexible, and popular enough technology so that when new requirements arise, they do not have to switch to the other platforms. Tech product trends which will nurture customer retention. So, how do we check the brand loyalty of the consumers? The answer lies in the authentic connection that it makes with the product. The advantage that today's digital world is providing that it creates more touch points to interact with the consumers in a very different ways. The customer service is delivered in a more integrated way with the help of technologies like artificial intelligence and augmented intelligence. Today's new technology products are creating a very best unimaginable experiences for the consumer. So, now we will discuss about the 5 tech trends that the brand should consider and integrate into the strategies to nurture more fuel customer loyalty. The objectives between the employee experience and the customer experiences are very well documented, but often they are pursued separately. So, why is this occurring? For this, we have to see the definition of the total experience. Total experience is important upon interconnectivity, customer experience, worker experience, and user experience under one roof such that every interaction is a part of overall brand experience. This kind of positive total experience approach is backed up by data and analytics, which are important tools for capturing customer behaviors in their shopping. So, what can this analyzed data do for us? This analyzed data can be helpful in making experiences more easy across the channels like social media to share knowledge and drive engagement. Thus, the total experiences generates the customer loyalty in a positive way. The other big factor that is playing a greater role in customer experience is automation. The rule of automation is creating customer experiences is cannot be denied. The best invention like chatbots have enough capability to handle out queries requests which reduce the handle time and allow the support team to concentrate on more important customer needs. Now, the two pillars on which the customer experience is built upon are speed and convenience, and its significance cannot be neglected. According to statistics, 43% of the customers would readily pay for a service that gives them direct access to humans like service. The survey also give the data that the most of the customers expect at least initial part of the customer journey to be automated. Customers of every age group are willing ready to take help of real-time service provided by artificial intelligence which have most positive impact to grow the loyalty towards the brand. It has also been noted that a negative customer experience is very worse to deal with. So it is very critical to get the customer experience right for the first time to enhance the brand loyalty. The online forums are becoming the great resources for the consumers to share their experiences with their brand online. With the help of these technologies, seamless connections between the consumers and brands can be a great way to fuel customer loyalty, but it can also give rise to the fake user generated content. According to research, 78% of the consumers want, want the brands for providing positive and welcoming online experiences. Also, more than 40% of the consumers is giving the signal that they will not be the part of the product community after as one exposure to the fake user generated content. So what we can learn from this is that the data is that a strong content moderation strategy is the key to practice and protect customer experiences. Artificial intelligence and automation can be helpful to make this process easier along with a monitored human team that can make sure the safety of the brand's online communities. To maintain trust with the consumer is must forming transparency. Today, artificial intelligence powered technologies has made it a way for the brand to connect with the consumers. Questions about how the data is being collected, used, and stored are on rise. As technology is being widely used, the consumers say in survey that they are comfortable as long as the companies disclose how their data has been used. Customers want a crystal clear report upon how their data is being shared and information was being used. So, it is a best practice to put in policy about the data transparency for more transparent interaction with the customers. Take for instance, enabling customers to control their personal data by easily opting out of the services like email marketing is what we talk about the data transparency. Moving into a new era and technology will be the leading player in contributing brand success and retaining their customers. So, what can the brands prepare for new ways to connect with the customers both in physical and virtual worlds? The answer lies in understanding the trends and emerging customer expectations, giving them streamlined total experiences, leveraging to automation and content moderation. Now, how tech services like fast shipping are creating a new era of business. In today's online shopping world, the buyers wish to get their products and packages as quickly as possible. But not every business or e-commerce store has that kind of supply chain technology as Amazon or Walmart. So is it possible that by automating and using machine learning, the problem of the fast shipping affordable can be solved out? According to experts, it requires a huge tech machines to bring in coordination of all the movement of the inventory in the network inventory. Everything needs to be coordinated very well for the very fast outcome and shipping to be efficiently handled in order to build a business like Amazon shipping. So there is a need to make some arrangements such that e-commerce retailers can have the supply chain coordination layer to enable them a faster and cheaper shipping. So this creates the global e-commerce logistic market which is valued at $3 trillion in 2030. To provide such kind of cheap and stable shipping service, data is the key to analyze upon. To make coordination and static decisions, information is to be required to know about different methods which are cheap and fastest for shipping. Also, automation should be considered with machine learning, and then logic should be applied for the best outcome for the fast shipping. For better results, we have to reduce shipping cost by 5% and speed up the estimated delivery by several days. This is best for retailers who are lacking in technology and are having huge assets. The new startups in this shipping business, which are just 9 to 10 months old, are booming out with processing more than 10 million shipments and are on the track to process over 50 million shipments by the end of 2022. The startups are looking for integrating engineering into the service to foster a more efficient delivering shipping. New sales and marketing teams are also being aligned in operations of the startups for the enhanced timely superior services. Thus, the main goal is to simplify the whole process so that the shipping can be done smoothly. Now, talking about how binding themes for tech products are useful for customer experiences. The pandemic rise in the era of rapid innovation led to a change in operations of several businesses. The fact was that the brands has to approach customers in a very different unique way to meet their demands and securely engage with them. So, keeping customer experience in mind, some organizations have improved the strategies about how they can give the products to customer as fast as possible, and now they are turning to binding teams as a solution. So, how do we define a binding team? It is a team that mixes up technology and business expertise, being accountable for the outcomes they support. Or, in a simple way to understand this, it is that the members of this team are being collected from the different departments like IT, sales, marketing, and business development. They strive hard together to deliver digital objective as quickly as possible with less administrative burden and a concentration on continuous enhancements. Even for binding teams, the customers and how they can improve the customer experience is the first objective. We said earlier, the binding teams put the customer at the center of each decision. The prime focus is on customer experience so that they are selected for product delivery. To create a product on a larger scale take time in months or even years. So by the time the product is in the market, it might not be a good fit for the customer. So this is where the binding team takes the customer problem, gather different diverse skill sets from the business unit and work to solve problem quickly. They think out of the box. This significantly work up on the customer's insights and the product adoption which determines their success. They come up with a new product ideas very faster. Yet, the team has the freedom to accelerate a product launch giving customer value closest to the time they will actually use it. For example, a company is getting complaints from the customers that there is nobody to answer questions out of the business hours. So what does the binding team does that is that they develop an enhanced chatbot. This logic-based chatbot is to be implemented that it can manage the inquiries outside the working hours. The binding team does very fast analysis of the solution and evaluate it to determine the best fit. They also collect customer feedback in the loop and use this customer data to make new changes in the product features as required. The device is solution when they get feedback from customers when the chatbot isn't able to answer their questions. This binding team into this era uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to form solutions which are scalable and best suited for the customer experience. Such methods are to create consistent omni-channel experiences by gathering feedback from customers and replicating it across all channels. Example of how binding team works is that if the customer wants to change his birth date in the system, but only the website has this facility to make changes. So in the busy schedule, when he goes to the app on his mobile to change the birth date, he is overwhelmed with no functionality on the app. So when the attention of the binding team goes over that matter, they quickly change the user interface of the app so that the customer can update his details. Also, using the technology and being dependent on it is not a good idea. So, the binding team always gives human touch and consider all aspects of the customer's journey. They collect data and understand when will the customer need to interact with chatbot and when they will need a human assistance. This mixture of technology and human interaction at the right time is close to the process of making happier customers. Thus, when the mailing team is focused and concentrates on giving streamlined digital experiences, the other employees can focus on other significant projects. Now coming to conclusion. Today, in whatever sector of the business you are, this is a fact that you cannot escape the effects of artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. The customers are expecting more intelligent offerings and it is becoming the major consumer trend that impacting all industries. Tesla is a great instance of adding artificial intelligence into the product in a very meaningful way. Artificial intelligence is a technology that is used by the latest autonomous driving features. The car is guided by the two separate artificial intelligence chips which makes the separate assessment about what's going around the vehicle. This helps enabling better control and safety in autopilot mode. The autopilot mode is used to assist driver and not to replace them. The drivers are frequently reminded to keep their concentration on the steering and if they missed anything important, the car gives the serious warnings and will eventually slow down. Using artificial intelligence, the existing service can be improved or there may be a new opportunity to develop a completely new service of business models that are different by artificial intelligence. All the credit goes to the artificial intelligence and data through which the business can grow and develop a much better understanding of the customers than ever before.